Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the Miami Dolphins and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Miami Dolphins and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. And they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, they coming off their very first loss of the year, suffered a week ago.
Yeah, it will not be a perfect season, but I'm interested to see how they bounce back now that they know that chasing the 1972 Dolphins is out the window.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaking up on the play. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. They'll drop to throw. To the right side to Eric Ebron. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Now a give, right side. It's Nash, and he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
He's crazy. He's chilling back,
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and it'll be a turnover on downs. So they give it up just on their side of midfield. And, yeah, I mean, a surprising decision there to go for that.
Must have a lot of confidence in his defense. Must feel like, hey, we're in great shape here because our defense can hold them because they're really outside of field goal range now. All right, the opposite team. So if you hold them here, you haven't given up any points. You may give up a punt and you're pinned down a little bit. But must have thought it was an okay spot to go for it and decided to be aggressive.
But it's brought in by Washington. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. It's quite a unit, that's for sure. Number one in the NFL against the pass.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
It'll be a gain of 8, but it also lead to a 4th down. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
The Steelers send out their punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. And out come the Dolphins now. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number 1 in their conference.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. Right now in the National Football League, they're ranked number 18 against the pass.
And even though that's not the greatest ranking in the world, one thing you can say, they get after the quarterback. They're in the top 10 in the league in sacks.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again. Alonso got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. So finally completes his first pass. Credit the defense, so they've been showing him some different looks, keeping him off balance.
Yeah, I like the observation that you have there, because when you give him different looks, and give any quarterback different looks, it takes just a little bit longer to process sometimes, and you don't throw the ball with the same confidence. You're not sure that that's where you should go with the football, and that's worked for the defense early in this game, and now he's got his first completion. Let's see if his confidence comes back, and he starts to get into a nice little groove.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. 2nd and 9 now. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble, because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big gain of 28 as the drive continues. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 4 catches, 59 yards.
That was a nice job there pulling that one in. Now, this is an offense that will certainly spread the ball around a bit, and this is a guy the defenses had better focus on.
On second down, it's Nash. Has some space here. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 22 yards there, a first down. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down. On first down, Nash. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. To throw on 2nd down, Alonso. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. From 10 yards out, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. That touchdown certainly a welcome sight. Remember, they were shut out last week. They talked to us about getting early momentum. Well, here you go in the opening quarter.
Got to rebuild confidence, because when you get shut out, I don't care how strong you are mentally, you've got to take a step back and say, okay, what just happened here? Because nothing that we were doing worked well enough to get into the end zone, and that's a nice confidence-building drive, one that puts it in the end zone to give them an opportunity.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
The numbers for him from a week ago, 19 carries, 52 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Back to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tack McKinley in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for a loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this will be taken at the 13. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense. And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. Now he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. To throw again. Alonso. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 19.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Completes it to the tight end, Smythe. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. It'll be a loss of 1. And just like that, it's 3rd down. To throw on 3rd down. Alonso. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line. He's sacked. T.J. Watt. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they left little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. We talk about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
This is taken at the 3. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about him.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
He's got a first down and then some at midfield. The 30, 10, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year as they are now on the board here in the first half. Maybe that is the boost that this offense needed.
They did nothing the entire half, but out of the blue comes this big shot here. You're exactly right. Like a dunk in basketball, like a home run in baseball, maybe a solo shot. Sometimes you need that big play to get things ignited.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Well, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met. Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Back to throw. Alonso. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender is making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Looking to throw. Alonso. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now a play fake here on first down. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
It's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
He's going to rifle one deep. And this is caught inside the 5. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games. And this is caught by Parker for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. And the touchdown all set up by the big play one snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play, got the momentum going, right? That's you create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. He's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. They'll set up to throw. And they set up the screen. That's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They'll run it now out of the gun. There he goes, right side. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A great play there with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. As they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. 2nd and 4.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and it passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys. Watch your eyes. Lock it. Under team. Steady.
On first down, Alonzo. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Throwing on first down. Alonzo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Good job.
So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we now proceed to the start of the second half. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. He was looking for Daniels that time, but it's going to be second down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now a give, right side. It's Nash, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
On third down, Alonso. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. That one good for 24 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jair Alexander. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Going deep to the end zone for Juju. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football. One thing that really impressed me about Joey Bosa is that he doesn't sacrifice the run game trying to get sacks. This guy really knows how to hold the point of attack, great leverage, and then goes and sheds people and makes plays.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Down here in the third quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. The throw over the middle taken in. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really like to dive in. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. In for the score. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Now Bullock to add the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
He's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just kind of have a grin on his face every time his number is called. Because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays. Nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. They'll run it now out of the gun. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
Well, if you like the guys who run the ball, you're enjoying watching this. But the other guys, especially the defense coordinator, trying to figure out an answer on how to slow down the running game, I think maybe starts to call more blitzes because you can call run blitzes in order to try and get more people to the point of attack.
3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup. Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
And again this time to the tailback. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And that is incomplete. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the 1st down, even throwing the football.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Nash, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
You got it!
On 3rd down, Nash, and it would appear he's going to be short of a 1st down as he stopped right around the 29.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Back to throw. Alonso under a heavy rush, and down he goes. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. Boy, sitting on a 2-score lead at this stage in the game, that punter, he must be pretty lonely over there on the sideline thinking, why in the world was my number not called there?
As far as he's concerned, the check will still cash, right? It is your choice not to use me in this situation. But I also look at it this way. You know, some coaches are more aggressive than others. They just want to take care of the football, have the ball on offense, and go at it that way. So a very interesting call, but he wants to take care of the ball himself.
He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. Ebron caught left side. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. And his kick here is good. And this is back down to a 7-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That one a first down pickup of 8.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll run on first down. It's Nash. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Now this throw caught left side. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Andy Isabella, his first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
You're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Second and 11. Complete to Washington. The reception good for 7. It's third down. And the Steelers on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll look to throw here. This is Johnson. He's got it. A gain of 10. Good for a Steeler first down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
We always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
On 1st and 10, Alonso. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
It is tough to complete pass against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. With his guys trailing here in the 4th, he can nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And this is brought all the way back. A fumble recovery and taken to the house for a Miami touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that, and that's what they've done all game long.
Extra point up and good by Bullock, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And they've got to be still reeling from the events of a moment ago. What a turn on that last play.
You're knocking on the door. You're about to take it in. You think you're going to get some points on the board. Instead, you cough it up and watch them take it the rest of the way to the opposite end zone. That's a 2-score swing that you just gave up.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Looking to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. That one looks like he'll throw here. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
The first down play, to be frank, nothing short of awful, and now they have to deal with second and very long. Space to run past the 20. A nice pickup there, 19 yards, and they're set up better for third. They'll keep it on the ground. Nash. They get the first. The decision to run on third and medium winds up being a good one.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. They'll go again from the 3 here on second and goal. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. An incomplete pass on first down. Here's second and goal. Second and 3. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. From 3 yards out. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Bullet good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Steelers set to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
Okay, just like that. Just like that. Check nickel, nickel, nickel.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Joey Bosa in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's second and 20. They'll look to throw. And the pressure gets to him again.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On first down, it's Nash. T.J. Watt in on the tackle. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Dolphins, they're setting themselves